Rewind.
What is happening?
You're talking about, excuse you. Hi guys, it's Janessa, and today we are talking about eyeliners. All right, we're going back to basics again, and we are talking about the different types of eyeliners and what are they used for. At first, before I even started this video, I was like, yeah, eyeliners, it's simple. It's pencils, liquids, and pots. And then I broke it down. I'm like, actually, like, there's a little bit more to it than just those three categories. It's like there's that category, but then like there's like a subcategory. So I'm going to explain it to you best I can and explain why you would want to use this. Now, most of the subcategories are just preferences. It's just how you like it. I'm going to take each eyeliner and then break it down a little bit more simplified so it can make more sense to you. All right, first category is pencils. Now I have 3 different pencils here. Does that blow your friggin' mind? There is 3 different types of pencils, at least in my world. So I'm talking about actual wooden pencils for this subcategory. But I want to show you how I'm breaking this one down to even a little bit more. So there's this type that you see is literal wood. And it goes on your eye like an actual pencil would. So it's a little bit rough, but sometimes people are into that and you get the best bang for your buck, and they're cheap. They're very, very cheap to make and easy to use. But some pencils are also still wood and you need to sharpen them as you go using them. But some pencils are made with better ingredients, so they go on a little bit more smooth, if that makes sense. And then you have the kind that twists up. And I feel like these tend to be the easiest and softest on your eyes. These are kind of like a gel-based pencil form, and these usually are twistable. They're almost crayon-like. So you have the first wooden pencil that you have to sharpen, the second, which is also a wood pencil but less harsh, and then the third, which is a gel-like pencil, which is softer on the eye but still pigmented with color. All of these are great for your everyday eyeliner if you want a softer look, if you want a matte look, but also these are great to use when smoking out an eye look and for your lower lash line. All right, second category is liquids. Liquids are pretty self-explanatory. They come off wet at first and then over time they dry down. Some liquid liners are shiny and some liquid liners are matte depending on the brand you get and the type you get. Liquid liners are a little bit more trickier to work with. Liquid liner is great for getting that perfect winged liner. I prefer liquid most of the time, but liquid is a less natural look. It's definitely more intense than a pencil tends to be. Liquid to me can be broken down into 2 subcategories. So first you have the brush tip. Now the brush tip is exactly like it sounds. It's a tip of the liquid liner that is just bristles that are dipped into the product. So it tends to feather out more. I feel like you can play with it, you can do a lot with it. I like the brush better than the other option, which is felt, and I will tell you why. This is felt. It looks like a Sharpie marker. Felt is fine, but they tend to dry out much quicker than the brushes, and I feel like you have to apply more to get a better impact, and I feel like it is harder to work with because the felt doesn't bend as easy as the brush would, and the brush you can go from thin to thick if you wanted. So that is why I tend to like, for the liquid, I like a brush type. Now our last option, and this really is just its own category, and that is potted liners. Now they look obviously like this. The pro to it is that they tend to be the easiest to work with when you're wanting to do a winged liner. So if you're wanting to step in the winged game, maybe get a cheap one of the potted eyeliners and a nice brush, which I'll show you in a second. These can last a long time. Downside is they do dry out fast if you leave the cap off. Sometimes you can get too much on your brush and then you're working with too much. Sometimes you get not enough, but I do like that too. That to me is a pro also. You can work with how much you want on your brush. Now there's 2 types of brushes that you can use for the potted, and that is an angled eyeliner brush like this, or a thin eyeliner brush like this. I tend to think this one works better when you're trying to do a winged liner, where this one can be a little bit more tricky. Well, I feel like if you're just starting out and you want to nail that winged liner, to me, I use the liquid liner with the brush tip, but I feel like this is a good starting point, is the pot to start on your winged liner. Okay, you guys, that wraps up this video. I pretty much covered all the eyeliners and what they can do for you and how you use them, and hopefully it made sense and it answered any questions you have. If you do have more questions, I would love to answer those for you, and if I missed something, please let me know.
Wait, Jessica, you think you know, but you don't know, girl. You don't really know.
I appreciate you guys requesting, and I appreciate you guys always supporting me and being here for me, and I love you. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys later. Bye!